Okay, now we're going to create our offers and services section. So let's check our wireframe. So you'll see on the wireframe that we've mapped out 3 main offers of Ayla's practice, along with a heading and a call to action button. So each offer includes the name of the offer, highlighted with an oval accent, a short paragraph explaining the offer, and a button to find out more, and also a call to action to contact Ayla as well. So let's start building this in Squarespace. We want to go into our edit setting up here, and we'll want to go below the about page and choose add section. Now we will want to again add a blank section. Now let's give ourselves a little bit more breathing room. So we'll just drag our section down a little bit. Then we want to go to add block up the top, and we want to find ourselves a shape. We want to find a rectangle. So we'll bring this into the center for now and drag it down a little bit. Based on our wireframe, we can see that again, we're using the rounded corners. So we'll want to do what we've done previously and head to the edit pencil up the top here. And again, type in 20 for our rounded corners. Next, let's copy and paste over the text for the first lot. So we'll go to add a block, text, paste in our copy, and we'll choose paragraph 2 for that. I'll just make this a little bit bigger. We'll bring our copy down, and then we'll also copy our find out more. For this, we are actually using text as a kind of placeholder button. So we're just going to drag that below here. Next, we just need to add our first image for our coaching service. So we're going to add block, add image, select the plus icon, select upload file. Like we've done previously, we want our image to fit the edges of the bounding box. So we'll click into the edit pencil and we'll go into design and select fill. We also want a corner radius of 20. So we'll add that in here and we'll drag our image over our first section container. So I want a little bit more of the image showing. I'm also just going to move down the text to create a little bit more breathing room and drag the image down a little bit. If we click on our image and select the edit pencil, you can see that we see the focal point selector again. For this crop, I really want a nice kind of abstract crop that doesn't take away all of your attention, say if we had all of her face showing, but has a little bit of her face showing. So maybe just perhaps showing her lips. So I want to drag the focal point until it's got the crop that I want. So that's starting to look quite close to how our wireframe example looked. Now we just need to create the title of the service with the circular accent. So we're going to copy over coaching. We're going to add a text block, and I'm actually going to use paragraph 2 for this. I'm also going to bold and italicize it here, and I want to make this center aligned as well. If we drag our text over our image at the moment, we can see that it is terrible for readability. There is no contrast. The text is lost in the image. So we will definitely want to make this text white. To do this, we highlight our text and we click on the color swatch here and we'll select white. There's also still not enough readability. So what we want to do is add an overlay on our image to make it a bit darker. So click on our image, select the edit pencil icon and select design. Below you'll see overlay. We'll want to toggle this on. This adds a darker overlay which makes the text a lot more readable. So if you click into it, you can actually adjust the amount of overlay that's showing. So I'll click on our black swatch here and I'll just drag it down until there's a nice balance of the two. I think that looks quite good. It's still readable and it's still got enough contrast in it. Finally, we want to add our oval or circular accent to our service name. So to do this, we'll select add block and we will search for shape. And we want a circle or oval. If we click on our edit pencil, we can choose what shape we get by clicking the drop down menu here, and we want to select circle. Now we want to keep stretching on, but we don't want it filled. We only want a stroke. To do this, we select the color swatch here and we can select into it again and drag it all the way down so the fill is transparent. But to get a stroke, you'll see stroke below, and currently it's turned off. To turn it on, we want to select the middle icon here, which is a solid stroke. this one over here is a dotted stroke. We want it to be thin, so we'll select S. And we want to change the color to white as well. So we'll click the circle icon here and select white. Now we can't see it on our white background, but if we drag it over our container, we can see it very clearly. Now we want to align coaching in the center of the oval. So to do this, we'll drag our oval till it's about centered. And really, to make this easier to edit, I really want my circle shape to be below the text, and I want my text layer to be on top. So to do this, click on your shape layer and select move to back just once, and that will make our text the top layer of our stack. Now that we've got the alignment issue adjusted, let's center align coaching. If we drag our text bounding box to be the same bounding box as our shape, this isn't really where we want coaching to be. We want it to be in the center. So to fix this, you'll select Align Center. Now our text and our oval are perfectly aligned with each other. Lastly, I don't want the shape to be that large, so to edit that, I'm just going to pull my text box in a little bit, and this will allow me to edit our shape. So bring it in, I'll bring it in a little bit thinner as well. Something like that is good. So now I just want to adjust our spacing here at the bottom. And I also want to, if I had a page to link to, I would link my Find Out More to the coaching page. Since we don't have a page set up at the moment, we won't link it here. And I just want to add a little underline to this link to make it stand out a little bit more. And to do this, we click into our text and head over to underline, and I will just make it a little bit thinner, so 0.05. And that is our first service container designed. And now once we've got this one set up, it becomes a lot easier to create the other two because we can copy and paste these. To do this, highlight everything on the screen and select Command or Control C and Command or Control V. This creates a copy of everything. Gonna make some more breathing room. Now we've got 2 copies of our services. I'm going to create the third one, so Control C and Control V, and we've got our third one here. We just want to align it all, so I'll just highlight it all and bring it down. Now they're all aligned with each other, and we've actually managed to get the boxes quite even, which is great. But if we didn't know the width of each box, we can obviously come and select G on our keyboard now, and we can count, okay, this one is 8 spaces apart, and we can make each one the same amount so it's all even. So I'm now going to start adding in our new content to our middle block. So if we consult the wireframe again, we'll see that it is gut reset program. So I'll just copy and paste this text, and I will be able to easily paste it in place. We'll select bold again and select italicize, and we'll also select our white. Oh, so we can see that we've had a little bit of misalignment happening here. So let's just tidy this up first. Drag everything down. That's better. And we will tighten up our shape layers as well. I also want my text to be more in the center, so I'll just drag each element up. Okay, so now let's finish copying and pasting our text across. Okay, so now that we've got all of our copy in place, I can see the gut reset program looks a little bit too close to the edges here, but because we don't have enough room to keep a nice border around the oval, meaning like if we did drag the oval out any further, it would touch the edges of the image, and I don't want that. So what I am going to do instead is just head back into our site styles, and I'm actually going to tweak text size of paragraph 2. So I'm just going to take it down 1.1 point, and that should be enough to give us a bit more breathing room around that lockup. Yeah, that's a lot better. Sometimes you'll come across things like that and you'll just have to tweak it as you go. So now I'm just going to continue replacing the images out. So if we click onto our placeholder, our new placeholder image, and select the edit pencil icon, click replace and upload file. And here we're going to choose the image that we're using for our gut reset program. And we are going to want to add on our overlay again. So head over to design, and we already have the overlay, but because each image is different in terms of its brightness and contrast, we might have to adjust it manually for each one. So we will add more of an overlay to this particular image. That's a lot better for readability purposes. And we'll do the same with the last one here. And again, this one needs a little bit more of an overlay. That looks about good. And I think the crop works well for this too. So now that we've got all of our services sections set up, I'm just gonna fine tweak it a little bit and bring our text, our buttons up one. And I'm going to bring our sections in up as well there. That's a lot better. So the final elements we have to add are our header for each section and our call to action button and our lines. So let's copy and paste our header. We're going to place in our header text. So we're going to add block, hit text and put in choose your toolkit. But before I change that, I'm just going to highlight and drag all of these sections down so it doesn't mess up our alignment. Now I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to change it to heading 2. Now I'm going to drag this out. For this, we are actually going to leave it left aligned, but I do want to emphasize toolkit. So let's italicize that now. Now we've got a bit too much breathing room. Let's highlight everything and bring it up about there. And we want to add our line detail. So to do this, go to add block and look for line. This just adds a basic line and we want to keep this in center with the text. So we'll drag it down. We'll align it in between 2 blocks worth of grid spacing. And we'll just drag it out and we'll bring it close to toolkit. So now that just adds a little bit of emphasis and draws your eye more towards the choose your toolkit header. We actually will just bring this back 1 and we'll tidy up this text box here. Now we want to do the same for the bottom. So we want to add a button. So go to add block and button, and our primary button style is fine here. We want to say chat about your options. So we'll grab our text from Figma and select the edit pencil and paste in our text or type in our text. And again, we want to keep it consistent. So we want a thinner button style and we want to add another line, and we want this line to align with our button. So we won't need to drag it across 2 blocks worth of grid spacing. We just need to keep it in the one. And that is our offers and services page done. Although now that I have been looking at the site, I'm going to hit save and I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to preview the website. So what I've been noticing is that going from our about section to our offers and services section, it's not quite broken up as much as I would like it to be. So what I might do is add a scrolling block, and let's do this now before we move on any further. We want to head back into our site edit menu, and we want to, between about section and offers and services, hit add section. And we just want to still add a blank section, but we want to make the section quite thin. So we want to head over to our edit pencil and we want to say remove our section fill. So just turn it off completely. And now we want to make this a color. So I'm thinking of our dark green color. Head over to edit section and select colors and select dark 2. Now we want a scrolling block. And a scrolling block is really great to break up a website and just add a little bit more visual interest. Select add block and type in scrolling, and we can see that we've got some text scrolling, which is great. So the text that we want to use should relate to Ayla in some capacity. So I might actually make it relate to our offers and services below. To edit this, we can come down and select edit pencil and head on into the first one. So instead of dream it, I will write coaching. My camera just died, so we are in the middle of creating our scrolling section. So I've just filled in the text here with things that are relevant to Ayla. So coaching, I've added a bullet point, I've added gut reset, I've added another bullet point, and then I've added recipes and another bullet point. So another thing I want to do is go over to design here, and I want to click on speed. I want it to be a little bit slower, so I'll put 0.5 as our speed. That looks a bit better. For our text styling, I actually want to choose our paragraph text, and I want it to be a bit smaller. So I will click into this and just reduce it somewhat. 1.2 looks good. And now we'll just drag down our section a little bit so we've got a bit more room either side. For the section, I'd really like our text, our scrolling text, to be our light green color, but at the moment, because of how the color options are set up, it's white. And we can change this by going into our edit section menu, click on the pencil and scroll over to colors. Now, if we scroll down, we can see we're on dark 2 at the moment. If we go on into our edit pencil here, this will actually open up our color theme, which will allow us to fine tune the colors a little bit more. So what I like to do is select Control or Command F and search for scroll. Now we can see scrolling and we can see that our paragraph color is actually set to white. If we click into this, we can make this a light green color and it changes up here. So this is really handy to know about if there are sections of your Squarespace site where you're not quite sure how to change the color of something. Find your color theme, head into your edit pencil and really search for what it is you're looking for. As you can see, there is a lot that you can actually customize. So yeah, it's a good idea to do that when you just find something that's not the color you want it to be. So now that's done, we'll just close this and we'll head back out of here and this is updated. So the last thing we want to do is actually drag our box to the very end of the site so it spans the whole entire width of the site. And now I think that helps break up our website in a much more visually interesting way, and it's still very relevant to our website as well. All right, now we have created our offers and services. We are next going to create the contact or valuable offer section.